Here are overviews and best practices on all the social media platforms recommended by Gary Vaynerchuk. Snapchat. Snapchat 101. How should grown-ups build their brands and dreams on a communication tool for tweens and teens? Some people, like Baby Jade, have so much charisma that they're going to go viral the minute they present themselves or their work in public. But those individuals are few. For the vast majority, it will take talent plus a combination of tactics and strategy to get noticed. Yet Snapchat limits those tactics. There are no hashtags, for example, so no discoverability. What that means is that building a brand on Snapchat is truly a test of your branding prowess. It's not about running ads and quantifying every click in mathematical variable. It's about hacking culture. Snapchat reveals who's good at it and who's not. This is why you shouldn't wonder whether to bother with Snapchat now that Instagram has its own version of stories. Whether or not Snapchat can compete over time, it's a terrific training ground to become a superior marketer and branding expert, not just a conversion-based digital salesperson. Let me say that again another way. The business world is separated into two camps, conversion-based salespeople and branding and marketing people. The former are short-term players, the latter long-term. With no disrespect meant towards sales, I always try to teach you to be branding and marketing people, because the great life-changing upside resides in long-term thinking, not in figuring out how to make a quick buck. For example, Lauren Evarts, creator of The Skinny Confidential, takes a long-term view of her investment in Snapchat. I answer every single snap I get, and sometimes I get 200 a day. I sit down at night for an hour and in the morning for an hour and answer every single question. It's almost like text messaging your readers, like they're your friends. I think it allowed people to really come into my life and allowed me to come into theirs. It's just a different way of being social, and it allows me to tell a story, and while I tell that story, I'm 100% providing value to the audience. For instance, if I go to cryotherapy, I take a picture of where I am, and then I show me in the booth freezing my ass off. And then I can show what I wore, and after that, I Snapchat the little flyer with the benefits. So what my followers get out of that is where to go, what the benefits are, what they should wear, and what it looks like when you're in the chamber. With every single thing I do, I try to hit those 4 points. I'm not just going to post a picture of my coffee cup. I'm going to say, today I'm drinking iced coffee. I'm drinking it with a silicone straw because it's BPA free. And I like cinnamon in it because it helps with your blood sugar. Every single snap needs to leave them with something, or else it is narcissistic. With Instagram stories, you're competing with a lot of people. Snapchat has white noise, and whenever I see white noise, I'm intrigued, because that's the way to stand out. Some of these influencers have just been taking pictures for the last 5 years. Snapchat forces you to show your personality. Are you intelligent? Are you funny? What are you bringing to the table other than what you're wearing? The thing to remember is that no one is famous only on Snapchat. Because of the temporary nature of the majority of the content, the only way to allow it to live long enough for people to discover and get to know you is to cross-pollinate with other platforms. For example, if you missed DJ Khaled's jet ski drama, you can still find it on YouTube. Same with Kerry and Jay Robinson's Salon Talk. That means that to be a Snapchat influencer, you need to be strong on the other platforms as well. The content you produce for Snapchat has to be powerful enough to draw views on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The way to get discovered on Snapchat is not much different from the way television stations try to get people to tune into their programs, which is to market in all the other places where people who might be interested in you are already going. That's what I did. I was never concerned by the lack of discoverability on Snapchat because I could see that all I had to do was draw awareness to it through my base on Twitter, YouTube, and my website. I did not use tactics like running Facebook ads to convert people. Instead, I branded and marketed. You'll be in the minority if you're able to figure out a formula that works equally well across platforms. Most people lean heavily on the one or two they're most comfortable with, and that rare skill could make you a dominant force here. All you're doing when testing discovery strategies is figuring out how to siphon people's attention. For example, if you want to bring awareness to your Snapchat profile and you send out lots of emails and add your snap code to the email. Pretty easy, right? You could wear a t-shirt with your snap code printed on it. Or you could create custom geo-filters, which are still underpriced. Both tactics would allow you to put your brand right in front of people's eyes in a fun, interactive, unobtrusive way. Snapchat 201. Collaborate. There is no discoverability on Snapchat. People have to know who you are and be motivated to come find you and follow you. That makes organizing collaborations tricky unless you reach out to people on their other platforms, their email, their Instagram, whatever, and either suggest doing something special together on Snapchat or offer something valuable in return for a shout-out or endorsement on their channel. If you need other influencers to help you grow your account, you're probably not big enough to be of much interest to them unless you've got something pretty spectacular up your sleeve. Here are some ideas for growing your followers to build your brand and make yourself more attractive for collaborations. Write multiple blog posts about Snapchat, so when the media need a quote about it, they come to you. Gain visibility by creating Snapchat events, such as Durasnap Park Project, that helped launch the career of Honduras. Pay for a Google ad that asks something like, "Who should I follow on Snapchat?" and offers a list of names with yours at the top. One more suggestion. You could visit the 11thsecond.com, a website founded by Cyrene Kuyamko, also known as Cyrene Q, Snapchat artist and influencer extraordinaire. She created the website in response to the app's lack of discovery. There you can submit and check out Snapchatter descriptions and usernames to make it easier for users to find accounts that match your interests. Like Meow Chickenfish, who uses Snapchat art to teach sign language, and Snapchat Chef, who makes cooking videos. The site is a screenshot repository for cool Snapchat art, as well as a resource where Snapchatters can look for tips, hacks, inspiration, advice, and more. Cyrene Q saw a problem, no discovery option, on her favorite platform, and solved it. Like all good entrepreneurs, she found a way. Twitter 101. Twitter is disproportionately the place to listen, react, and hijack. Problem is, most people aren't very good listeners, and it's often an especially big challenge for the types of people who want to build personal brands so the world will listen to them. But listening well is the key to engaging well on Twitter. It's by listening that you can find the conversation. Threads that can lead you to the people passionate about the subject around which you're going to grow your influence. If you're a lawyer who wants to be the next influential sportscaster, it's likely you're going to put out amazing sports-related commentary on YouTube and create a sports podcast. Getting anyone to give you even a passing glance on those platforms, however, will depend almost exclusively on the quality of your content, and even then a huge number of people just won't see you. But on Twitter, a rising sportscaster could make it her mission to find all the people, every single one, talking about Colton Wong, Adam Wainwright, the Cardinals, or the Cardinals' arch rivals, the Cubs, Chicago, or Wrigley Field, and reply in some unthreatening, interesting way that creates a connection between her and each sports fan. The next day, she could go do the very same thing for people talking about the Jets and all Jets-related topics. If she does it well and frequently enough, eventually she can virtually grab these people by the shoulders and point them straight towards her website, YouTube channel, or podcast. The thing is, it will take a shitload of discipline and patience. Let me define discipline. It's backing up your ambitions with your actions. This rookie will need to spend 4, 5, even 6 hours a day on this kind of engagement, often in the pre-dawn hours if she wants to become the next Linda Khan. If she just wants a little name recognition from her town's bar regulars when they talk about their local team, then 20 or 40 minutes per day will be perfectly adequate. Maybe. Now, Keeping people's attention and nabbing a subscription or a loyal fan will still rely on the quality of what those consumers find on our Rookie Sportcaster's website. But the point is that Twitter gives you a chance to both lure and lasso, or jab and right hook, people into your orbit in a way that no other platform does. It's a slow process and an immense amount of work, but if you're willing to do it and your content is special, you should see a payoff. Twitter 201 BizDev. Everyone knows that Twitter is still the number one place to get any attention because to this day, I'm still consuming what people are saying about me there more than on all other platforms combined. That's true for many other people in different fields. Because it was built to be a conversation platform, Twitter is an interesting place to jumpstart BizDev opportunities or collaborations as you grow your brand, maybe even the best place. For example, some influencers have hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers on Instagram, but only a few thousand on Twitter. Where do you think they get the most requests for favors or collaborations? Instagram. So even though they probably spend more time on Instagram, you're more likely to have a better chance of getting a response if you DM them on Twitter, where there is less competition for their attention. There are several other advantages to using Twitter as your pillar content. It's a complete and trustworthy directory. The platform has been around long enough to have perfected its verification system, which gives it a better search function. You can still spend a lot of time guessing whether the Instagram account you're targeting is real or not. Its retweet feature offers a remarkable opportunity to create instant awareness. Let's say you make a YouTube mashup of the rapper Logic's music videos. It's unlikely he's going to see it, even if he's tagged. Share the mashup on Twitter, however, and the retweets can propel your video to dramatic virality, the kind that even the biggest influencers notice. This kind of word of mouth does not exist on Instagram or Snapchat and is enormously beneficial to content creators. Not only that, you can try to spark that word of mouth many more times on Twitter than on other platforms. I post 3, maybe 4 times a day on Instagram, but there are days when I could post 47 times on Twitter. The fact that it's as welcoming to the written word as to pictures gives content creators the flexibility and leeway to increase the volume of their storytelling. On Twitter, you're always just one comment away from getting noticed and making a name for yourself. So the more times you get a chance to talk, the better. Remember, though, that the best dinner guests are not just great storytellers, but also great listeners. So bring all your smarts, your wit, and your cleverness to the party. Keep the conversation going by engaging everyone around you, and watch your influence grow and your opportunities multiply. There's no other platform that gives you this opening to introduce yourself to so many people so often. Don't ignore it. YouTube 101. Please, even if you think you're a video material, give the platform a try. So many people don't think of themselves as camera-worthy, but vlogging and documenting doesn't demand that you be glamorous or beautiful or really superficially special at all. Have you looked at what's out there, aside from the beauty bloggers, the bodybuilders, and the rising pop idols? In other words, aside from everyone in an industry where your looks really matter, everyone on YouTube looks pretty damn ordinary. There are vloggers with disfiguring tumors, vloggers with disabilities, vloggers of all ages and shapes. Vlogging is a terrific way to document instead of create, which means that literally anyone can do it. You don't need to be accomplished, at least not in the way 99% of you reading this define accomplishment, to break out on this platform. Because remember, when you're documenting and not creating, you're allowed to learn as you go. You don't have to be an expert yet. You don't have to be successful yet. The only thing you really have to do is make the road getting there interesting. Now, interesting is subjective. You know what I find super interesting to watch? Videos about hitting up garage sales. And I'm not the only one. As I write, a quick search on YouTube shows videos devoted to the topic of garage sailing, receiving as many as 50,000, 99,000, and 137,000 views. Don't ever decide for yourself that videos about you or the things you like to do won't be compelling to anyone else. Let the market decide. Trust me, it'll be honest with you. Vlogging is a great equalizer, and YouTube is the vlogging mothership. It's the platform where the person with no thought would is the it's the platform where the person no one thought would amount to anything can make it. It's a tool for finding your best angle, and I don't mean camera angle. If you have a lot of interests, if you aren't sure where your greatest skills lie, if you wonder whether you have the kind of charisma and appeal that draws audiences to YouTube personalities, or if you simply can't decide whether you'd rather be a number one American authority on pajamas or the go-to guru for kombucha, pick up your phone and start documenting your day. Put the results up daily as a YouTube vlog. See which posts get the most attention. And double down on whatever it is that's making these posts stick. But you have to put something out to know if you've got the goods. I didn't mull over whether I should start Wine Library or debate whether I was good enough to deserve a YouTube audience. The second I thought filming a wine review show was a good idea, I had an employee go to Best Buy to find a camera, filmed the first episode and posted it. That first episode looks and sounds totally different from the ones I created even 4 months later, because I figured out that I could be me. I'd held back, not because I was worried about the opinion of the world at large, but because I was afraid if I really let loose I'd jeopardize all the hard-won relationships the wine store had with long-time customers who bought $10,000 of wine from me every month. If you look at the first episode, I'm almost unrecognizable. Not because I'm over a decade younger and 15 pounds heavier, but because my personality is so subdued. I say very wine experty things, like, when I smell this it reminds me of a classic Clinet or a VCC, and I'm not going to push the Petrus. Then in episode 11, you can see on the wall behind me a framed black and white photo of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier battling it out in the 1971 fight of the century. That may have been the first piece of the real me, the boxing-loving me, that made its way into the show. In episode 40, I started talking about joy and passion, and cut to a clip from the televised 2006 NFL Draft, where I was caught on camera screaming my head off with excitement with my friends and my brother AJ in response to the announcement that the Jets had selected DeBrickashaw Ferguson, an offensive tackle from the University of Virginia, over quarterback Matt Leonard. I was starting to reveal other sides of me because, as I said at the end of the episode, you've got to be passionate about other things besides wine. It's right around this time that I started to realize that the world was changing so much that this channel could potentially get much bigger than I'd ever anticipated, and it might be worth risking a few short-term wine losses in exchange for the long-term value of allowing myself to be me. By episode 57, I give a virtual finger to the establishment. Episode 58 gets even more real with the title I'm Not Pissed, and reveals that I turned down 2 network opportunities, one in a travel genre, one in a food and wine genre, because I didn't believe that TV was the future. Now remember, this is supposed to be a wine show. My energy is rising, my voice is going faster, and I'm being more direct. And when my confidence really kicks in, with comments like, "We're the best marketers in the wine business," we don't need a blog to sell wine. I start dropping colorful phrases like bullcrap and taste the goddamn wine, like bright pomegranate seeds, into my monologues. By episode 61, when I start asking for people to keep emailing me because my mail was confirming that I was hitting a nerve and getting people excited and interested, my opening is less masterpiece theater, more WWE. As you can see, the delivery, quality, and content of Wine Library TV changed over time. I gave the show time to evolve. I gave myself time to get comfortable and relax into the format. I gave myself time to get to know my audience and listen to what it was saying. It has been pointed out to me that the first video was 10 minutes better. It has been pointed out to me that my first video was 10 times better than some people's 100th in terms of quality and content. Maybe But again, quality is subjective. Some people are successful despite being complete idiots because the public love to watch them. Because the public loves to watch them be idiots. For sure, I'm coherent and you can tell I know my shit. That was definitely a good start, but remember, there is no way I could have known that I'd be good on video at the time. If I sat on my idea of starting a wine show and worried and second-guessed myself, I could have probably found 100 reasons not to do it. Thank God I didn't stop to do any of that, but went with my gut. YouTube isn't going to make you charismatic and interesting, but it will expose you if you are. It can't do that, however, if you don't put yourself out there. Give yourself a year to adjust and try different approaches, and see what kind of response you get. Listen to your audience. Ultimately, it all boils down to this. Don't let perfection be your enemy. Do not be another dreamer who puts up 10 episodes, gets trolled or ignored, gets discouraged, and takes the channel down. For God's sake, give yourself a fair chance to succeed. Every single thing that has ever happened on television can happen on YouTube. You can break out as a pop star. You can be a filmmaker. You can become Billy Mays, the infomercial pitchman. You want to become a morning TV star? Start a morning TV show on YouTube. You want to be the next Dr. Drew? Start a Q&A show. You want to be the next Rachel Ray, Oprah, Tavis Smiley, or Chris Hardwick? Then start cooking, mentoring, interviewing, or talking pop culture on YouTube tomorrow. Yes, it will be harder today than it would have been had you started doing this in 2011, when there were a lot of people watching but not as many creating. But if you are really talented, smart, funny, or creative, you will win. It might take you a few more months, or even years, than it would have in 2011, but it will happen. Taking the document, don't create approach means you are conceivably going to pour a shitload of boring content into the miasma of boring content already living on YouTube. That's okay. You know why? Because if in the end, the rest of the world agrees that your content is boring, you'll know that you're not cut out for this, and you can move on to something else. Or it might be because you'll get an email from one of the 6 people who watched episode 94 of your 200 yarn episodes, who happens to be the CEO of your favorite yarn company, telling you he'd love to work together one day if you're interested. You decide you're never going to become a PBS star, call him up and work out a deal where you create educational videos for the company website. They're a big company, so they get 400,000 views per episode, allowing you to build your brand through them. They're also big enough to pay you very well to do something you love. It might be because you discover that, even though the general public didn't get caught up in your craft beer vlog, you had more fun doing that than you've ever had in your career as a software developer. So you approach Yuang Ling about making educational training videos for their staff, and they bring you on board for a high five-figure salary. The pay isn't that different from what you earned before, but you go to bed happy every Sunday, excited to get back to work the next day. Did you become a millionaire? No, but only a tiny % of the people who try this will. That's irrelevant. The point is to dream big, and then make the practical adjustments necessary once you see where your potential lies. However, you will never ever know the extent of that potential until you try. I guarantee it's greater than you think it is. For a couple of years now, the tech-savvy early adopters have been watching YouTube on their television sets. Very soon, everyone is going to be doing it, and the next generation will not see any difference between the two. YouTube will be television. Television will be YouTube. YouTube is a monster. Yet Facebook is making plans to add more features that will make it look like YouTube. With YouTube in possession of a decade of equity as the established video platform, Facebook is going to have to work its ass off to compete. As you're about to see, it's going to be a hell of a fight. YouTube best practices. If you want to increase the amount of time people spend watching every video you post on your channel as a whole, make sure you can answer the questions below. Video optimization. Titles. How much thought have you put into your video title? Does the title accurately reflect the video's content? Is the majority of the title viewable on mobile? Is the title short and concise, emotionally driven, and/or keyword optimized? Descriptions. Are the top 2 lines of the description keyword optimized? Are there links to other similar videos or playlists in the description? Is there a subscribe link? Are there links to your other social media accounts? Are all of the links clickable and trackable? Tags. Are there at least 10 tags in the description? Are both one-word and phrase tags included? Do the tags accurately reflect the video's content? Are the tags valuable? That is, do they have high search volumes? Do they have high search volumes but low competition? You can find this out by using tools like vidIQ, Google AdWords, Keyword Planner, and keywordtool.io. Thumbnails. Does the thumbnail accurately reflect the video's content? If there is text on the thumbnail, is it easy to read on all devices? If there is text, does it complement the title? YouTube cards. To extend watch time on your channel, are you including YouTube cards within your video to drive traffic to other relevant videos you've posted? Channel optimization. Banner. Does the banner accurately reflect the channel's content and genre? Does the graphic transfer well to all devices? About section / channel description. Are the top 2 lines keyword optimized? Is the first paragraph an overview of the channel? Have you included the upload schedule? Are all of the social media links clickable? They don't have to be trackable. Playlists. Do the playlists have keyword optimized descriptions? Are the playlists featured on the landing page of the channel? Channel trailer. Is a channel trailer displayed on the landing page? Does the channel trailer accurately reflect the channel's content and genre? Is the channel trailer telling the best story in the shortest amount of time? Facebook 101. First, unlike any other platform, Facebook gives you the gift of flexibility. Written content and photographs don't work on YouTube. Instagram allows for a maximum of 1-minute videos on a user's main page at the time of this writing. There's no way long written content is getting traction on Snapchat, but on Facebook a 13-paragraph blog post will work. You can post pictures and they'll work. You can embed a SoundCloud audio play and it will work. A 13-second video will work. So will a 31-minute video. Facebook offers complete and utter creative flexibility and has the greatest ad targeting product ever created. No one is too cool for Facebook. If you haven't already done so, go to Facebook right now and register your fan page, because even if it is not the place where you create the pillar content for your personal brand, it is where everything you do on every other platform will come to live for the remainder of your personal brand's existence. Facebook is not only a canvas where you create original content, but also an imperative distribution channel. The DNA of Facebook is word of mouth. It is the place where sharing culture has thrived beyond measure. On other platforms, you generally either hit a grand slam or you strike out. Not so on Facebook. There, with 61 shares, you're getting at least a single every day. If you're good at creating content, on another day, you could hit a double with 200 shares. You might drop down to 13 shares with the next piece of content, only to follow up with something spectacular that gets you 7,000. With every share, no matter how micro, you're building awareness of your brand in a native way. If anything, it's the best place for people with no followers to begin their personal branding efforts. Because of its incredibly detailed targeting capacities, you can specify your audience by interests, of course, but also by their zip codes or their employers. Facebook is also an incredible place for someone with a small budget. It's an insanely valuable platform. When a nobody launching her fashionista brand has to spend only $13 to boost or target her post of a pretty top and conceivably get as many as 2,600 impressions, depending on her targeting choices. An impression is electronically recorded each time an ad is displayed on a user's screen. The cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM, M stand for Mille, Latin for 1,000, fluctuates with the market, but right now it is still one of the cheapest yet most effective ad products in existence, comparable to Google AdWords back in the early aughts. That won't always be the case. 18 months after this book is published, Facebook ad prices will have doubled or more. Take advantage of this wide open runway while you still can and jumpstart your brand awareness. Finally, as big as YouTube is, by the time this book is published, Facebook will be emerging as a fierce competitor in video. Mark Zuckerberg called video a mega trend of the same nature as mobile and has made it clear that video is Facebook's future. In 2016, he told BuzzFeed, "I wouldn't be surprised if you fast forward 5 years and most of the content that people see on Facebook and are sharing on a day-to-day basis is video." When Facebook wants something to work, it puts all its support behind it. The effect on the social media landscape is generally something like a tectonic plate shift. The platform is in the process of working out deals to produce original content in partnerships with millennial-friendly outlets like Group 9 Media, producers of The Dodo and Vox Media. Knowing that, wouldn't it be foolish to bypass the opportunity to get in early? You might be thinking, I already make YouTube videos, I'll just put them on Facebook. 2 birds, 1 stone, done. Not so fast. Facebook's algorithm will always give preferential treatment to native Facebook content. You'll get far greater reach by creating an original video for Facebook than by recycling something from another platform. Does the video have great copy alongside it? Are the first 3 seconds captivating? Does it show an understanding of the mindset of the Facebook demographic that would love to share it with a family member or friend? Does it compel an action right then and there? Video is still something of a novelty on Facebook, which means it has the potential to be noticed faster and get greater engagement than whatever you might post on YouTube. That doesn't mean you shouldn't post on YouTube or anywhere else, of course, but do not underestimate the power that doubling down on Facebook could have on your brand. Facebook is the first platform that has combined the ability to do marketing, sales, and branding all in one place, and it is still vastly underpriced for the amount of attention you can get there from its nearly 2 billion monthly users. Facebook 201. Facebook Live. Facebook has gone all in on Live, trying to give users a place to indulge in raw, immediate experience of engaging directly with viewers in real time. It's powerful stuff, but be aware that live video is the hardest art form. If you eliminate the news, sports, award shows, and Saturday Night Live, there are very few live TV shows, and for good reason. It takes enormous skill to captivate an audience enough to disrupt their routine at the moment you want their attention. That's a much bigger ask than trying to get people to watch you on their own time. And yet, the spontaneity can really work in your favor. If you can crystallize a special moment and share it with your fans in real time, it can become something truly special to them. Just ask Candace Payne of Dallas. Never heard of her? You might know her better as Chewbacca Mom. On May 19, 2016. On May 19, 2016, Payne opened up a Facebook Live to show her Facebook friends a present she bought for herself, a roaring Chewbacca mask. She was so excited, she couldn't even wait to get home. She filmed from inside the car while sitting in the Kohl's parking lot. She titled the post, "It's the Simple Joys in Life." It was a funny look. But what really caught people's attention was her infectious, unstoppable laughter as she delighted in her purchase. Maybe people were feeling jaded because they were weary of heavy content about upcoming elections and other serious topics. For whatever reason, the people who saw the post loved it so much that they started sharing it, and so did everyone else who saw it. With 162 million views as of December 2016, it became the most popular Facebook Live video of that year. As many have pointed out, the vast majority of the people who saw that video viewed it long after it was no longer live. But the live format is what made that moment possible. Had Payne known she was posting for posterity, she might have been more self-conscious. She might have planned in her head what she was going to say. Instead, she just opened up the phone and started filming with her guard down, allowing her personality to shine as bright as two Tatooine suns. You can't get more authentic, and people fell head over heels. For a little while, she was part of the celebrity circuit, appearing on talk shows and being featured in the media. She was rewarded handsomely by calls with thousands of dollars worth of gift cards and merchandise, and she was invited to meet Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook. Hasbro, which had made the original Wookiee mask, presented her with a custom-made action figure with her head in a removable mask attached to a Wookiee body. But what's really cool is how Payne used her 15 minutes of fame to continue building her brand as a positive, deeply religious person, dedicated to spreading hope, joy, and optimism. She landed a TLC Me video series, and her website revealed a long list of speaking engagements. She signed a multi-book deal. Her first book, Laugh It Up, published in November 2017, was written, she said in a video she made while preparing to send her manuscript to her editor, for those of you who think that joy is a frivolous thing and that you don't deserve. Candace Payne's story is the stuff of dreams. The kind of moment that can't be planned. That's why I wouldn't recommend Facebook Live for most people, unless they've perfected their video technique and seen success for a few years and are ready to up their game. It's not generally the place to start from zero because the experience might be a bit like a first-time rider jabbing on. It's not generally the best place to start from zero because the experience might be a bit like a first-time rider jumping on a bike without training wheels. For those of you who are ready though, Live could capture a one-in-a-million moment that you never saw coming and put you on the map. John Lee Dumas, creator of Entrepreneurs on Fire, is a believer too. Without a doubt, Facebook Live is the next thing. I'm having incredible success using platforms like Wirecast and BeLive TV, which are just tools that allow me to sit at my computer and do a Facebook Live. But they also have text overlay, pull people's comments in, and have full show interaction, and just the engagement that I'm having, the real-timeness. It's just been a different level. Everybody's there. They get that little blip notification. Hey, John's hanging out live right now. I actually call it Tea with JLD, just a cute little rhyme. I pour a cup of tea, I sit on Facebook Live, and I usually go on a rant about some topic for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I start answering questions. Just hanging out. Could be 30 minutes, could be an hour, and I'll get hundreds of comments and thousands of views, all just from flipping on Facebook Live. So to me, that's where it's at right now. Facebook Live is where the attention is. Collaborate. If you are building a brand based on jokes, cooking, bikes, extreme sports, or bathing suits, anything, go to the top of Facebook and do searches on terms that are relevant to your business. Find the fan pages with the most followers, message them, and make them an incredible offer that makes it worth their while to share your original content on their platform or to work with you in other ways. For example, if you're a biker and you get a viral hit on your post about how a motorcycle helmet saved your life, the best thing you could do would be to spend hours in touch with every single popular motorcycle fan page and offering them a brilliantly funny PSA about helmets to share on their page. Collaborating through Facebook is a strategic move that has enormous potential to quickly build your audience. Instagram. Except for YouTube, Instagram has created more famous people than any other platform. It's massive. It's a place where you can be equally successful as a content producer or a content curator, and it's the hottest social network in terms of scale and impact. Some would say it's gotten harder to get noticed there now that it's crowded. It's gotten so popular that college graduates are actually taking a year or two to see if they can get big on Instagram before trying to get a traditional job. It's not as flexible as Facebook, though I predict that very soon it will remove the time limits on videos. Although its content is bite-sized like Twitter's, nothing in its structure makes it ideal for having conversations. Yet there are so many great tactics you can use to garner awareness: hashtags, collaborations, tagging, ads, that I believe the attention an influencer can enjoy here, especially skilled photographers, chefs, designers, and other artists, runs deeper than on Twitter or Facebook. I know it's true for the 35 and under crowd, and I suspect that the 36 to 50-year-olds are starting to come around because it's a newer, shinier, maybe even happier place than their tried and true Facebook. Moreover, the importance of the platform doubled with the launch of Instagram Stories in 2016. Until then, Instagram was a highly curated place. That's one of the reasons people loved it so much. Less polarized and politicized than Facebook. It's a space where you can go to post the beautiful highlights of your days. That was a bit of a problem. In fact, on the day Stories launched, CEO Kevin Systrom admitted to TechCrunch that he hadn't posted anything to Instagram in the 6 days before the interview because none of the moments seemed special enough. Meanwhile, the success of Snapchat Stories had proven that people were extremely interested in sharing the raw footage of their lives, so long as they knew it wouldn't stick around to haunt them forever. So Instagram copied Stories and became a platform that gave users complete freedom to create as the mood moved them, or throw away content that could be scrapped, like the first draft of your last sales presentation. It scaled fast. Snapchat had already laid the groundwork in getting people comfortable with the idea of ephemeral content, so there was no learning curve to contend with. As is the usual case when platforms introduce new features, Instagram placed it at the top of the app, too, making it impossible for users to miss. In less than a year, Instagram Stories became one of the most popular features of one of the biggest platforms in the world, offering a dynamic place for users to create content to complement their perfectly curated Instagram feed. There are many features that make Instagram a requirement for any budding influencer or entrepreneur. You can post for posterity, or you can post for instant gratification. You can draw and filter and caption and tag. Though the feature is currently available only to verified accounts, you'll soon be able to add links to your posts, a simple move that will open the floodgate to opportunities to drive people to your content. To drive people to your other content. To drive people to your other content, whether it's on your website, your blog, or other social networks. Anyone wishing to build a personal brand should be on Instagram. Create a profile now or regret it for years to come. 7 steps to BizDev. Make sure your Instagram is full of incredible content, the best you can make. More people are about to come see what you're about. Search relevant keywords. For example, if you're building a biker brand, motorcycles, click on the first hashtag that shows up. As I write this, there are over 2.4 million posts with hashtag motorcycles. Click on every picture you see with that hashtag. The first 4 that show up in this instance belong to accounts that have a combined following of over 1 million Instagrammers. Investigate every account and any linked websites to confirm that they are owned by people or companies in your field, or even if they are not, to check if they could use your services or products anyway. Click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner of their pages and send those individuals or businesses a custom written direct message. Do not spam with cut and paste bullshit. If that's the best you can do, you've already lost. In your message, explain what drew you to them. I love your work. I've always admired you. You post the funniest memes. This post is so creative, etc. Why you are worth paying attention to. My goal is to promote better biker safety. I've designed a helmet even the most helmet-averse rider won't mind wearing. I've launched the freshest, most exciting biker-themed YouTube channel on the internet. And what value you can offer. I'd like to send you one of my helmets to try. I'd love to invite you on air to talk about your new book, and I'd be honored if you'd let me make you a free video documenting your next ride. I can send you 6 bikers to model leather jackets on your vlog for free. You can also target your search by location. Just type in the name of your city, sometimes even your neighborhood, and click Places, or look to the location symbol in your list of top results. You'll see everyone who posted in your immediate area. Do this: search, click, investigate, DM for 6 to 7 hours every day. Do it during every lunch break, every bathroom break, every time you're waiting for your child to get out of dance class, and in the 20 minutes that you've got before the enchiladas come out of the oven. Only a tiny fraction of the people you reach out to will respond. That's all you need. With every successful contact, you increase your ability to prove yourself worthy of any attention at all, and you increase your visibility. Do this enough times and the effect will snowball until suddenly you'll be the brand that people and businesses start reaching out to. To see these instructions in action, go to the following post: garyv.com/gvbizdev. I left out 2 platforms in the making of this summary because I did not want it to go over 1 hour, because that sort of eliminates the point. I like it to be so that it's condensed. However, these platforms are, firstly, musical.ly, which is a fairly young platform, and podcasting, which is older than most platforms but still the trickiest and with smaller audience.